I'm Sue Spargo and welcome to our week 12 of our Christmas Stitch Along. We're getting really close to the end before we're going to assemble, so I hope you're all keeping up and we will have a pillow for Christmas. So this week we're just doing two different little circles. The first one is the squirrel, and then we will be doing these two Amazon green snowflakes. So for the squirrel you're going to need these colors, and for the snowflake these two over here. So I'm going to talk about the little squirrel first, and here he is. So he has a chain stitch all the way around the outside. Then we're going to do turkey work with this little variegated green, and we've done turkey work a couple of times, so you should be pretty pro at that. And then we will emphasize his other little elements using different colors. So the first thing is we'll do a French knot for his eye, and we will put a detached chain around it to lighten it up. And then we have little French knots down his back, little detached chains in his ears, little nose here for a French knot, and little lines here for his feet. And then we'll finish it off by doing a seed stitch in the background with this pretty color of dazzle, and then a little fly stitch around the edge. Let me just double check on that. Yes, it is a fly stitch. I wasn't sure if it was a fly stitch or a Italian knotted border. Either one would work, but a fly stitch is what's in the pattern. So that'll be the end of our little critters and images for our circles. And now we will get to these two little snowflakes, and they're both the same, so you'll be using these two colors, the dazzle and the cream. So the first thing we're going to use is our 8-spoke spoke easy. So this circle, it will include fly stitches, detached chains, French knots, and bullion knot loops. So I'm going to draw it out for you so that you can see. I think it's easier for you to see how it's going to work here. So we're going to use the 8-spoke, and I'm going to mark it at about the 3/4 inch line here. So it's the third one down here. And I'm also going to mark the center like that. So now I'm going to rotate it. And I'm going to, when you rotate it, make sure that your dots are in the center of these cutout, the V cutout, like that. And also that the dots are on the 3/4 inch line here, like that. So they're on the line and they're in the center. And then we'll mark the 1/4 inch one. So that'll be this one way down here. So I'm going to mark that one. Okay, so there we have our markings. So with your Easy M78, the number 8, we're going to connect the long ones. So we'll do a thread, and you always keep those threads pretty snug. Like this. So we'll have 8 of them. Oops, a little crooked. And then we're going to do a detached chain at the end of each of these. So you do a detached chain like that. And then we're going to do a big French knot in the center of these, like this, using the dazzle. So it'll have a little bit of sparkle, which is pretty fun. Then you're going to, well, I think we'll just couch these a little bit. Those are couched. And I always like to couch them. Well, first of all, if you use a dazzle, it gives a little bit of a sparkle, but I like to couch them because you don't want someone to catch the long thread on the pillow. So these, that way it'll be nice and snug against the background. Then we're going to do a little fly stitch in alternating ones. So you're going to do a little fly stitch and just 4 of them all together like that. And then in the other ones, we're going to do bullion loops. So bullion loops are done, and I suggest you do it with the fine bullion knot needle, just because it's easier to pull that through when you have so many wraps on. You'll need about 24 wraps for this, and they will lie as little loops like that. And then you'll come back with the dazzle and just couch the tips of them like this so that they sit snug against the background. So you'll do 2 of those, so 2 of the snowflakes on the Amazon green circles. So that's all for this week. Next week we'll do 2 more circles, and then we'll be ready to put it together. If you're enjoying this program, please like and subscribe for more.